everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm a part-time reseller. I sell vintage and a few modern brands over on sites like eBay, Etsy, Poshmark. I also have an antique booth, and I'm here every Wednesday sharing new videos regarding reselling part-time, collecting, and a few lifestyle videos that I want to throw in this year. And I just want to thank you guys so much for subscribing and tuning in. And today's video is a little different. It's more of a chit chat video. I wanted to talk to you about my experience reselling on Etsy. So if this is interesting to you, go ahead and just keep watching. Okay, so I'm sure you're very familiar with the website Etsy. Etsy is an online selling platform. They focus on vintage and handmade goods. So it's a huge vintage marketplace, but also they have a huge handmade kind of like artisan community where people hand make items, and it's a really good platform to support small businesses. Also digital downloads, digital content such as like PDF files. Like I know people sell spreadsheets on Etsy, so it's a really fun way for creative people to, sell their goods. I started selling on Etsy, specifically vintage, in 2012, and I don't have thousands of sales, but I have a few. And I want to talk about the reasons that I stopped selling on Etsy, and this year I want to start selling on Etsy again. I just started listing, and I actually just got my first sale a few days ago, and yeah, I'm really motivated just to go back to Etsy and sell more vintage. Like, just this year I really want to focus on photography a lot more. Photography is something that I struggled with a lot while I was selling on Etsy between 2012 and I want to say 2017 is when I stepped back from Etsy. So in the past 3 years, I probably had 2 or 3 random sales on Etsy, but I feel like I peaked between 2014 and 2016. Those 2 years were really active for me on Etsy, but I always struggled with photography. I just could never figure out the aspect ratio over there, and every time I would Google it or try and look it up, like they would state, like they would talk in pixels, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It'd be like, oh, your photographs need to be these amount of pixels by these amount of pixels and so megabytes, and I was like, I don't get it. So in 2017 was when I shifted over to Poshmark, and Poshmark was just so easy because it was square mode. That's it. Take your photos well lit in square mode and you can upload them. To this day, Poshmark to me is my favorite platform to list on because it's so easy. Like you don't have to know any weird dimensions. You don't really need to edit your photos as long as they're well lit. You can upload them as long as they're in square mode. You don't have to crop anything. It's easy and it's fast and it's convenient. So that is one of the main reasons that I stopped selling on Etsy in 2017 and I started selling on Poshmark in 2017. Now I really want to go back to Etsy. I think Etsy is a great platform for vintage, especially if you're a vintage collector, a vintage lover. You know that you can pretty much shop anywhere, but I feel like on Etsy, people go there for the vintage and the handmade goods, and I feel like the people shopping on Etsy are just a lot more knowledgeable. They understand, they know what they're looking for. So once you have that audience, I feel like they understand you a little better. Like I can say side middle zipper and they'll understand, the difference between a side middle zipper than a nylon zipper. Okay, so let's get into my stats, and I'm going to be looking down at my phone. So I joined Etsy in 2012 and my all-time sales are 267 and my all-time revenue was $7,116. It also has a little graph, so I definitely peaked in 2016. So 2014, 15, and 16 were my most active years. I stopped selling in 2017, but I still had 1 sale in 2017, 1 sale in 2018, 2 sales in 2019, 1 sale in 2020, and so far in 2021, I've had 1 sale. So definitely trying to work my way back. But not all of those 267 sales were vintage. For a while, especially in 2014 and 2015, I ventured into t-shirts and I started making Selena t-shirts. So 2014, I think I started making Selena t-shirts, like Selena Bidi Bidi Bom Bom, Selena Quintanilla Perez, because I wanted a Selena t-shirt and I couldn't find that shirt anywhere. At that time, there was no Selena boom yet. I think this was probably like 2 years before Selena had this huge comeback. So now you can walk into a Target, into a Walmart, you can go to the Mac store and buy a Selena product. But at that time, really couldn't find it anywhere. The only place that I did find Selena merch was obviously her Selena Museum website, the Q Productions website, and honestly, they were not cute. Like, I felt like they were really outdated. I felt like they still had an Angel Fire website, like in 2012, 2013. So I just didn't really, I really couldn't find what I was looking for. So I decided to make exactly what I was looking for. And I made this shirt, my Bidi Bidi Bom Bom shirt. And I remember at that time I was going out with my friends like crazy because I was young. And so yeah, I remember I wore it and I would get all this attention all the time. People would always ask me, where did you get that shirt? Where did you buy that shirt? And I was like, I made it. And then they're like, oh, you should make me one. Can you make me one? You should sell them. So I started selling them. I started just like looking for wholesale t-shirts and finding screen printers. And it kind of became like this 2-year little entrepreneurship journey that I started. And at the time, I felt like I was successful, but I really didn't have the time or the money to invest in it because I had to obviously buy t-shirts at bulk prices, buy like hundreds of shirts. And at that time, I didn't really have the money to buy like large quantities of shirts. And then I had to find a printer, and the minimum print was like 200 at a time, 200 per size, per style. And I just couldn't sustain it, even though they were in demand. And when I finally would get the order in and I would post them, they would sell really quick. But honestly, it just was too much to sustain. And yeah, I stopped selling them. I kind of burned out and I went back to selling vintage again. So I ventured into other t-shirts such as these. These shirts were inspired by La Época de Oro, and I really love those too. Again, I would just like make things that I wanted, things that I was searching. I was searching for a Pedro Infante t-shirt and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I made one. And things like that. But it was crazy how like 3 years after that was when this whole streetwear boom really took off, and now like everyone on Instagram has a t-shirt shop or has some sort of business, which is cool. But at the time, I feel like I really didn't have the money to invest back into that business, and that's really not the direction that I was trying to head into. I'm just happy reselling vintage, but it was a good idea and I enjoyed it. I still have a few shirts left. I found some the other day. I think I'm going to post them on Etsy again. So these are just some of the favorite items that I've sold over the years. I love selling sundresses. I love selling sundresses. I love wearing sundresses. I feel like modeling images really helps sell your product. So here are a few items that I modeled back in the day. So I just need to get comfortable in front of the camera again, start modeling. I always use mannequins. I feel like Etsy is a site where mannequins and modeling really help sell your products. So here's an example of a mannequin that I use. So selling on Etsy is pretty easy because it's kind of a listed and leave it site. Once you have your photographs uploaded, your description and everything, you kind of just leave it there and you don't have to go in and refresh and share or do any of the things you do on other platforms such as Poshmark and Depop. You kind of just leave it there. You will have to direct traffic, so you want to fill out as many keywords as necessary so that people searching for your type of item actually find your type of item. But you can also direct traffic to your website, and I plan on doing that via my Instagram, via my YouTube. So that's something that I really want to focus on this year. So for me, the struggle has always been to stay organized. I am a big procrastinator. I always leave things to the last minute, and this year I'm just trying to be more proactive. I got a planner. Here's my little planner. I am old school. I like to write everything down. I know you can do it all digitally on your cell phone, but I'm just that type of person. So far my schedule has been helping. You know, I've been trying to delegate tasks and like photographing and taking measurements on certain days, so it's working. And yeah, I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you are also trying to sell on Etsy. If so, what kind of information do you need? I know this was more of a like a random chit chat video, and I really didn't share a lot of details, but I plan on learning more about Etsy as I go. I kind of just am the type of person that figures it out as I go. So if I find something that's helpful for me on Etsy, I will definitely come back into a follow-up video. But for now, if you guys want to check out my Etsy shop and let me know what you think, let me know if you have some tips for me, please leave them down below. I am more than open to constructive criticism. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I just want to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day, which is the theme for today's video, because I won't see you until next Wednesday. So hope you spend it with someone special. If not, spend it with yourself, because you are special. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon.